Hey, what's going down?
Oh my god.
You're on the recovery pod. How's it going? Make fun of the way I look around. All right, so where to begin?
Well, I guess we can start with the astrology breakdown and then with the real shit.
Okay.
Just flow into it.
Okay. Astrology breakdown. Where would you like to begin?
I want to first start out and say the zodiac signs are energies. That's all they are. Is a form type of energy that actually is very hard to put into words, but it's something that you understand and learn over time. You gain your own perspective on what that energy is.
Okay.
And everybody has a slightly different one, but overall, the overall idea can be similar, and it's different for what it means to each person with their placements, with their different energies. They perceive the other energies in their own way. So it's very hard to put a certain word on it. And a form of energy isn't even something that can be a word. You can't put adjectives on it. But I'll try my best to explain it. So, I will start off by saying that we have pretty good compatibility in all aspects except for the Venus.
Which
rules the love relationship part.
Oh. So that's what makes this roller coaster so fun.
No, but we are both air signs, our sun signs. So Gemini and Aquarius, which is why
I'm the Gemini. I knew she was going to distract you. What's up, Molly?
Air signs are both the type of, they're signs of deep thinking. So if you're an air sign, you will sit and you can think deeply into things and try to really form things into a thought. Now, what both our moon signs are also fire moons. Mine being Aries and yours being Leo.
Mine's a fire moon?
It is a fire moon, yes.
I thought it was an air moon.
Nope. Leo is...
This is new information to me.
We are both fire moons.
Okay. I did not know that part.
Yep.
Okay.
Which means neither of us can hide how we feel. If you are upset, you can't hide that shit.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I can hide it.
No, you can't.
I'm good at hiding it.
Same with me.
No, I've never been able to.
Same with me. I can't hide that shit.
I can't lie either. Do you think that makes me a bad liar? Just the ultimate truth that resides inside of me? That I can't hide how I feel, therefore I can't lie?
Maybe.
I could lie, like if you're like, oh hey, how you doing? I'll be like, yeah, I'm fine. If you're not really looking into it, you might believe that. But like I can't bullface lie.
Yeah.
I've never been able to.
No, okay, yeah. So when you have a fire sign for a moon, you wear your emotions on your sleeve. So you're kind of inside out, And same with the water, the air, and the earth signs, those are very like more stabilized emotions where it's like you have some sort of like control, I guess, but I don't know. But this is just how I perceive it.
Okay.
I may be wrong. But yeah, so we wear our emotions in our sleeves. And with my fire moon. It is the most energetic energy out of all the zodiacs. It is just a ball of pure energy. So my emotional outlet needs to be something where I am really, really moving. That's why going to the gym was a huge one for me. A Leo's fire resides in emotional expression of creativity.
So my bars.
Exactly. That is where your outlet is with creating music.
Okay. Really just creating anything. Like that's where I'm in my zone.
Yep.
Like you put me into physical action. It's like I can get into it, but that's not like what gets me into it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if you put me into some like creative outlet, like and my brain can get to working and I get to like making something, I'm good. Like I feel really centered and like aligned. So I get that. All right.
Now, so moon rules your emotions. Okay. Now, Mercury rules your ways of communicating.
Okay, so what are you and what am I?
This is where not like super compatible, but manageable. So I am a Capricorn, which is that sign is the ruler of structure. Basically, like what I think of Capricorn is just structure and order and stuff like that. So breaking it down, like just piece by piece, like in a structural like pattern. And that's why when we pod, it's like I have to form things into formulas or, you know, into some sort of like a structure. And then Gemini communication is, I don't know, it's all over the place.
Yeah, no, that's pretty accurate. All over the place, but structurally all over the place. You're probably like more of a bullet point going down the list.
Yes.
I go all around here, but at the end it's like tied together.
Yeah.
There's a method to my chaos.
And
Man,
like
I'm so much louder than you. I'm gonna skirt.
I'm so glad Molly is sitting nicely finally. This is great. Just okay. And the thing about Gemini energy is that it's not always constant. Like it's up and down and it changes a lot.
Well, there are two of me in there.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. It is true when we say, you know, the twins, right? There is two different things in there that are back and forth. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean like split personality disorder, but it just means that it can jump from one perspective to the other very quickly.
You know, for a long time, when I first started using, I had when I learned about Gemini being twins, I really felt like I had the two personalities. Like where when I was sober, I was these ways, I'd act this way, I'd like these types of people, I would do these types of things. Then when I'm high, I would almost be like the opposite. Where like I didn't like being social, I didn't like other things. Like, you know, I could like you sober and not like you high. Does this cat need to go?
I'm listening.
And then I would literally be like, oh, it's because I'm a Gemini and I'm just like, you know, split personality but I own that, and then I kind of like made it fit, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like would just almost like adapt to these two personalities. Even like my mom would call me like Stefan when I was high. You know, I don't remember why, but like, so that was like my alter ego is like Stefan like is these ways and likes these things, and then like Steven's more approachable and blah blah blah. But yeah, I feel like if anything, I could see where there's multiple perspectives, but I don't necessarily anymore feel like it's split personality or two different opposing sides or anything like that.
Yeah, and it's hard to explain. Like, you know, we all have we all definitely have a thing where we, like I have, I can have two different perspectives of something, or act differently when I'm mad and differently when I'm happy. But the thing about Gemini energy is that it's like, you have two different energies that you're owning. Does that make sense?
Okay.
One doesn't negate the other, But yes, like, when I feel that you're upset with me and when you're not, it's two very, very different feelings.
So, knowing that about me, I should get double the credit for working through things because I'm
That's a
fighting
Leo moon.
two emotions. So never mind.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
You blame everything on my Leo moon. Everything is blamed on the moon.
And then just quickly touch up on the Aquarius sun that I got. So the sun is always hard for me to explain. It's like the base of your energies, but it doesn't play out in as many things as everything put together. But I like to think of it as like your ego responses.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Like, so Aquarius is notoriously known to be the most quirky of the signs. Like, we are the weirdos of the signs. And
Ain't saying shit.
but that comes with being the most different, the most, and it's important because we feel like we are the aliens of this planet. We feel like we don't fit in with anybody. And so, but we just keep that and we try to own it that way. So we always have, but that's where the ego part comes in, where the ego tells you, well, you have to be the weirdest and you have to be the most different. And I've actually, ever since doing some work on my ego, I've stopped doing it. I've stopped feeling like it's so important for me to be different because I am by nature just different. I am by nature just weird and I don't need to force it anymore. So,
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not good to force anything. It's good to just be. Like,
well, yeah.
Back when I was trying to be one way or another, if I try to be a nice person, I'm really not that nice. You know what I mean? Because I think there's just too much focus on if I'm nice or not, and then I just notice areas where I'm not nice, and then I try to be nice when I feel like I should be nice, so I can be the nice guy. You know what I mean? And really just being like, just instead of like, I want to specifically be different, I want to specifically be cool, I want to specifically be a good writer, I specifically want to be nice. You just be, and then you just kind of accept where you are, and then if you want to, like, if you don't like that and you want to be different, you just focus on being different. Like your perspective changes. Like, I don't know, like being cool, is one of the big ones where, like, I was never cool, ever. I know it's kind of hard to believe, but like I was never cool, never like sociably cool, never cool with girls, nothing, because I was trying to be cool. What would a cool person say? Or let me make this joke so you laugh, and therefore my energy is like all fucked up. And like really like in sobriety this time, but also just getting to that point where I just don't give a shit anymore. I don't know if it's age. I don't know if it's like books I've read, like The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, or some other things that kind of just got me out of my own head. But like, I really don't give a shit, if people like me or not. But that doesn't make me rude. That doesn't make me like, I don't care if you like me, so I'm gonna act however. But like, it really, like, I think just letting go of that energy, not wanting to be liked, not being cared if I be liked, therefore like tiptoeing on things or trying to like make people like me, and it's really weird. So yeah, I mean, and then when kind of like the same with your style, like if you just do you, You might be different, you might not. You don't have to be the most different, but you're comfortable. You know?
Yeah, so the thing about these signs as well is, or the zodiac placements is, these are just things the way we are by nature. You know? It has nothing to do with the defects. It has nothing to do with shortcomings. It has nothing to do with just issues, traumas that has made us this way, right? Like, it's all what, if we are just being our authentic selves, that's how we come out to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so,
Well, yeah, because you said that before the first time when we started talking about this, because I didn't like the idea of feeling like anything was set in stone.
right.
Like, I don't like the idea that my moon placements from the day I was born turn into, like, how I'm going to navigate through life and that there's no other way around it. Kind of like the same where, you know, getting sober, it's like, well, this is just who I am. This is just the way I am. I'm the type of person who snaps on people. I'm the type of person who fucking is just fierily passionate and only thinks about themselves. Like, all that shit can be changed. But you're saying it's more like a default, just like we broke it down once, I forget how, but it's almost like your sensory, you know what I mean? It's the way you perceive things. Like, you know what I mean? The way you read them, not necessarily your response to them.
Yeah, it's the way you perceive them, but it's also the energy that you come with in things.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I can't say for others, but like for my emotional responses, the energy I come with when I'm feeling an emotional response, I feel just a ball of just a fire, like spitfire. And then with my way of thinking and communicating in my Mercury with Capricorn, everything has to be laid out like a logical program, you know? And I don't know, it's so hard to explain, but it's just like the bare, like, authentic things. It's when you take away all the fears, all the, you know, like I said, defects, psychological defenses, like when you take all that down, that's what your nature is. Now, yes, I make a lot of jokes. I mean, all of us in the astrology field, I guess, I don't know what the word is.
You're in the astrology field?
Yeah. We all like to make
Did
jokes.
you sign up from a magazine?
We all like to make jokes about how, oh, well, that's something a Capricorn would do. And it's like, yeah, that does have a little bit of a truth to it because those energies are prone to certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, somebody, you know, who has Capricorn placements, they are prone to just make a lot of Excel spreadsheets about everything in their life. Because that creates order.
Like you do?
Exactly. You have lists, you have Excel spreadsheets, you have like this, that, because that's just that energy. You know, and then somebody who's a Gemini who is all over the place, it's like you got a million different projects you start, but you never finish any of them because this sounds good, and then the next sounds good, and then the next.
I finished some of them.
But I'm not saying you specifically. I'm saying what they're prone.
No, totally, yeah.
What they're prone to
without discipline or change behavior. That's my default. Is I got a million pans going at once and probably burning half of them. Like.
Yeah, and so also another big thing that I want to point out is certain planets that are ruling certain aspects are also ruled by certain zodiacs. So, for example, the planet Mercury that rules communication, that planet is ruled by two of the zodiac signs, Gemini and Virgo. Those are the two biggest fucking talkers in the entire zodiac. So, yeah.
I can talk.
Biggest fucking talkers.
Should have met me when I was on Adderall. Would not shut the fuck up.
And then Mars, the planet of Mars, it rules your drive. It rules what moves you in life. And that is ruled by Aries, because Aries is a ball of movement and energy. So I hope that puts things a little more into perspective. I know it's really hard. Or planet.
And I want to get back to, because this is my Leo moon coming out.
Okay.
That makes it about me.
Yeah.
I want to get back to how this applies to me and us and our issues.
Our issues, okay.
As much as I love hearing about the whole zodiac breakdown, like, I think the important parts are the communication and kind of the compatibility, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that's where we kind of, I don't even want to say struggle, but yeah, struggle and succeed the most with our efforts, right? So, like, we have these opposite signs. We have these ways that we are that are completely different and opposite from each other. If you've listened at all, you know we're fucking nothing alike. And then we also have different wants, needs, traumas, and experiences, right? And perspectives. So as much as our moon signs can guide us, because I feel like, you know, to be honest, when you first start talking about moons and shit, I'm kind of like, yeah, whatever. You know, but like the more you kind of like break down the underlying parts, and the more I can see how they can relate with the kind of reader parts, not the reactions, like, I think it's cool to know. And I think our intentional effort in responding to the different ways we are and the different conditionings we have and different wants and needs is important to see how we can like work through things, even being so opposite, you know?
Yeah, so there's a small part that plays in our relationship of how the Venuses are not very compatible.
You mean the Veni?
Do you say penises or peni?
I just say give me more. So the Veni. I don't know. Skeet. Skeet.
But with us, it's all the majority of the problems is all traumas and just how we were conditioned growing up, the type of household. Like, my mom is telling me the shit that is pissing her off about what my grandma's doing, and it sounds exactly what is pissing you off about what I'm doing. Mm. And so we pick up on our guardians or whoever's raising us behavior on how to act, and we think that that's the norm. So then we take it with each other through our lives. You know, she is 100% like, nobody in this house can feel any negative feelings. It's selfish. You all have to be on point, but I am allowed to feel how I feel. I'm allowed to be off. Mm-hmm. And that was subconsciously ingrained into me. This has nothing to do with my placements. And so end up becoming that way. And yeah, expectations, also another thing that you grow up with, people having a lot of expectations of you, then you have a lot of expectations of yourself, and then you have a lot of expectations of other people. And
well, I feel like it starts that way. And, you know, it's kind of like, you know, there's like a meme, and there's a lot of evidence to fit this, where, you know, you got the businessman and then you got the bum, and they're both brothers, and then when you ask each of them why they got where they got, they both answered, my dad was an alcoholic. So you got one who follows in the footsteps, repeats the behaviors they seen by their parents growing up. Then you've got the ones who do like the total opposite, you know, and I feel like either one you're not kind of set in stone with. And, you know, the things that come from childhood, yes, they're there, you know what I mean? And they're ingrained, and they're kind of just not even chosen by us. We just do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, for me, like, I hit that breaking point in sobriety. Like, it wasn't just getting sober, it was a whole series of events leading up to it. Just like, things I don't know I've gone into before, but just all life just fucking totally kicking my ass, and then just checking me and checking me and checking me and humbling me and just basically reminding me I don't run shit, right? To where getting sober, it was like, all right, let's kind of start looking at things differently. And I mean, I think a lot of it comes with spiritual awakenings too. Like the spiritual awakening you get when you get sober, the spiritual awakenings you can have when reading like the Four Agreements or New Earth, or anything that like opens a door and makes you see things differently that you can't unsee. Like you can't go back.
Yeah.
So maybe back then all my old, habits were to cling, control, fantasize, like, be in a relationship and be like, well, this is the way I want it to be, or this is the way I see it in my head. I want to make it that way, or I want to like shame them into being that way, or motivate them to change to be that way. And it just gets to a point where it's like, that doesn't work, because it didn't work for me enough to where it just kind of slammed me to where I'm like, oh shit, I'm not doing that anymore because I know it doesn't work, right? So like, yes, the childhood stuff, but then the breaking points too, and I just yeah.
Well, yeah, like the breaking points, all these things that you have been pointing out to me that I've been doing, I haven't hit that breaking point with them yet, because they're just now being revealed to me that they're an issue. Because everybody else in my life kind of just tolerated it,
Mm-hmm.
and you're the first person who will not. And so...
What the fuck?
What, Dad?
I hope it was recording. No, yeah. Sorry, I'm the first person that will not
Right.
tolerate your shit.
And so, subconsciously, I haven't hit that rock bottom, that desperation of, I need to change this.
Right.
And maybe with each time, it is, getting better and better. But the one thing I do have to say about the Venus placements, though, is with mine being Pisces, which is like the dreamy... softy, I do, if I'm being really honest here, perceive relationships as some sort of a fairy tale, where everything is amazing and beautiful and perfect and awesome, and it's the safest place for me to go away from the cruel world. And that's where probably that I'm prone to have very high expectations of relationships, because I don't have them. I mean, I have them with other relationships in my life, but not nearly as much as the loving ones. And so with your Leo placement, it's the opposite, and it's very... Your way of loving is just loving people through yourself, if that makes sense.
Explain.
Like, if you I don't know how to explain it without making it sound like
I'm a narcissistic asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I could see that where
Like, okay, sorry, I'm trying to explain it here.
Okay.
It's you always saying, I'm done doing this, it's not enough, I'm done bending and breaking, I'm done, it's like, I'm just gonna do my own thing, I am this, and it's all very self-centered, if that makes, like, or I guess selfish sounding, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's where it's like, you're like, so as long as I'm good and everything, we can be good. Mine is, this all has to be good. Then I'm good. You know what I mean?
Not really. I know what you're saying. I
Okay.
just don't agree.
Okay.
I feel like, you know, yes, I feel like the only person I can control is me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't control you. You know what I mean? I can tell you what's bothering me. I can bring things up. You know, I can hope things will be changed, you know, at some point. I can bring things up to you that maybe help you, like, hey, read this book. You know that last chapter? Why don't you read that one twice? Like, you know what I mean? I can do stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I can't change you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why you're getting a version of me that is so directed back and focused on me. Maybe I always was like that. I mean, it's like one of them things. If I'm not happy in a situation, what are my options? I can try to change it, or I could sit and pretend I'm okay with it. But you already told me I can't fake my feelings, you know, or what? I can be miserable in it and not say the things like, "Oh, I need to like go to take care of myself" or whatever. So, I mean, sometimes if I'm breaking it down, I don't see many options. But with you, I feel like, yes, you need everything to be okay, but I think the majority of that everything is your other person. Like, I feel like if everything else was falling apart, as long as I'd be cool with you, you know, you're that much more okay. Yes, other things bother you, like work or things not going your way or blah blah blah. And then, but if things are off with me, whether me and myself, if I'm just not in the right mood you want me to be in, or you prefer, or you're kind of thinking is about you, or if I'm really just legit mad at you, like it rocks your world.
Yeah, it
You
makes
know,
me
and I
feel
don't
like I'm
think
falling
that's
apart.
part of the everything. I think that's just part of the kind of the codependency thing, I guess. I don't know.
Oh
I don't ever
yeah.
want to call you codependent because it's just one of them words people react bad to, but
Uh,
you're a self-proclaimed codependent.
I am a self-proclaimed everything.
So, yes. Do I care about other people? Yes. Do I love them through myself? Sure, I could probably see that. Like where I mean, I'm really the only thing I experience, you know what I mean? I experience you through me. So, you know, I don't think I'm self-centered or narcissistic in the way where I only want what I want and I'm going to aim for it and I don't care about what you want or how you feel. And I'm sure you can attest to that. You know what I mean? I'm not just like, oh, pff, fuck you and literally just going about my business. But yeah, like I will say that yes, when push comes to shove, you know, I do get to points where it's like, all right, like I can't worry about all this. I can only worry about myself. You know what I mean? And I don't think that also is. I personally don't think it's a good judgment on like how I am in like hmm, I don't really know how to word this, but like a relationship that doesn't put me in so many. We've had a lot of issues lately. You know what I mean? Where it's just like back to back to back to back. When there's a whole lot of back to back, I get into a self preserving mode. I think, and you know that when things are good and we have these little issues, that I don't quite get into that mode. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? I can be upset, but I can still tend to your needs. I can still give you all the love, support, and affirmations and reassurances. But when it's kind of back to back to back, that's when I failed to do that because I can't hide my feelings. And if I get to a point where too many of them happen, and I'm like, man, do I need to like rethink what's going on here? Like, do both of us need to like really rethink some of these things and see, you know, maybe we're just whatever. That's when I probably seem a little more selfish because then yeah, I am kind of like falling back to what can I work on? This is all I can do. I can only focus on me and you're
Yeah,
going to do what you do.
and like your level of love is based on around like how good the person can do to you or for you, like like the way like how many good things have happened and stuff like or how good things are. But mine is measured not it doesn't measure through that. It's like measured through just me seeing you as just the things about you. You know what I mean? Like I love a lot of things.
You can like some things. That's all right. I ain't gonna take offense.
So I just focus on the things that I just like and love, like just the way you are. And, like the way when we go into Goodwill, the first thing you do is you look for a book to fucking give to somebody to spread the message. Or the way you just forget to pay a bill, but you remember to reach out to somebody. Or, stuff like that. And it's all these combinations of things. I don't ever think about, like, oh, well, it's all these bad things, but then some of these good things and bad things. Like, I don't think about that. I just know you as a person and why I love you, and I just want to make it work despite those things.
You don't think you should think about bad things, though?
I should. And I do. But it's not at the top of my list.
Why not? So if I had good traits.
Okay, if you were a toxic asshole.
Why has it got to be an extreme?
Because if you were like.
Well, I'm trying to make the point where, I don't think it's wrong to factor things in. I don't think anybody, this is just my perspective, I don't think anybody should ever be in a relationship where they don't consider things. I don't think anyone gets to this place where it's like, you know what, it's you, and no matter what, like, I'm taking it. No matter what, whether that turns into like 1,000 bad things or one absolutely like non-negotiable bad thing. I don't think anyone should ever just be like, you know what, well, this is it. And if that's the case, then when do you determine that? After a month? After a year? After, you know what I mean? Like, I see, like, standing by people when they're going through rough times. I see the whole, but I don't agree with being with someone that if you're in a situation that, you feel like you don't know if you can stay in. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're in a situation that's, like, if you were to, relapse and then just not get help, or if you were to, cheat, or if you were to, start treating me bad, or, stuff like that, then obviously I'm not gonna just stick with you despite if you're just aren't good to me. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I only really bring things up that are to that point. It's not like I'm nitpicky or get to a point where I'm like, oh, it's this and that. I don't like your favorite color, or the way I don't like your music, or I don't like this, or I don't like that. It's like, man, I don't like some of these big things.
So to you, it feels like I'm treating you bad.
Yeah. Do you want to go into all of it?
Sure.
You want to go?
Yeah.
I wish I had one of them fight bells. Ding, ding, ding. No, so, I mean, we've already talked about it. Like, a lot of it is the expectations. So, it's not like, oh, the first couple times, like, oh, I really like these things about you. But then, especially in the beginning, there were, like, super hardcore differences. I mean, like, to me, I was super distant and you were super clingy. Is that fair to say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I think we got to a point where we could work on those things. And I think we did pretty good. Like, I got to a point where, I used to legit need, like, multiple days downtime, after work, blah, 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 whatever. Now I'm pretty cool with just having, like, a few hours on a Monday, and I'm kind of all right. I don't feel like I'm lacking. And you've gotten a lot better with some of the clinginess, but I still feel like in moments you do have high expectations, you do have a need to control, and you really struggle with allowing me to feel how I feel. If I, like, come home and I'm in a bad mood, you're in a bad mood. And then I can't be in my bad mood because you're in your bad mood now. And then since I can be in a bad mood and just go do my own thing, because I was probably already in a bad mood, whether it was because of you or not, and I wanted to just do my own thing anyway. Now you're in a bad mood and you can't do your own thing. You need love, you need attention, you need taken care of. And you know, it seems like, well, now I have to drop what I'm doing to take care of myself since I was already in the bad mood to go take care of you being in a bad mood solely because I'm in a bad mood.
Mm-hmm.
To me, if it happens here and there, that's one thing, but when it happens all the time, it seems, and I'm not saying it happens all the time like every day, but when it happens like almost every time I get in those moods, what?
It's just when you're breaking it down just sounds really funny when I'm hearing
Why?
it. No,
You don't take me seriously?
I do.
No, I'm joking. So, all right.
It's just funny to me that I act like that. Like, I just think I'm funny.
Funny like... God. And you wonder why.
I just think of this little, like, fucking toddler who's just so, like, wah.
So, when with something like that, right? You know, I don't ever like that I get to the place where I feel like, fuck, I don't know if I can do this, right? Especially over something as simple as, damn, the girl just wants to fucking spend time with you. The girl just needs your love. The girl just needs this or that. The problem comes when it seems like to you in those moments, your top priority is yourself. And I could be hurting, I could be lacking, I could be in need. But then you turn the tables, now you're in need, now you're lacking, now you need something, and now everybody needs to drop everything and go to you. So I don't think you mean to do that. I know where it comes from, but it still has an effect where it's like, like, when am I supposed to ever, you know, be allowed to be not okay? When am I ever allowed to just come home and have a bad day or a bad mood and you not be fazed by it? And then now my one problem doesn't turn into two.
Here, let me explain it.
Right.
How my thought process goes. If I see you come home... So first of all, I just want to mention I grew up in a household where I was responsible for everybody's feelings. And I remember my grandma specifically told me I ruined her whole fucking day. And it's all my fault. So,
do I look like your grandma?
Yes. When
Hell
you
yeah.
come home and you feel away, my first thought is, it's my fault. Second thought, you're equivalent to me sitting in the corner crying is you going up isolating. That's your crying, right?
It's just me.
In a way.
I don't cry.